Marijuana has a bad reputation for being a gateway drug. However, any drug's a gateway drug. Because of the horrible propaganda spreading around since the 1970s when it was classified as a #1 drug in the United States, people tend to associate it with drugs like meth, heroin, and Molly that are man-made drugs, in fact, and aren't even plant-based. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with using a plant that was put onto this earth by God or whoever to resolve medical reasons such as epilepsy, nausea, increased appetite for anorexic people, or even such as simple as a basic headache. You don't even have to smoke it to feel relief from these symptoms. You can use CBD that won't get you high but will still relieve you from these conditions. In the end, if people look at the bigger picture and see that legalizing recreational marijuana will increase the well-being of humans exponentially. Legalized marijuana will reduce the addiction to pharmaceutical pills. According to the NID, opioid drug overdose deaths rose from about 38,000 in 2010 to 70,000 in 2017. I always knew opioids are a highly addictive drug, but did you know that they are chemically similar to heroin and the high is similar? According to data from 2011, about 80% of people who first used heroin misused the prescription opioids, according to the NID. If marijuana dispensaries were available for people who are addicted to opioids, they may be able to use marijuana as an alternative. The opioid user can even pick a CBD strand that won't get them high but will still relieve them from their symptoms. Unfortunately, like many other drugs, marijuana has no risk of fatal overdose, and heavy use won't lead to life-threatening symptoms. However, withdrawal from marijuana might include irritability and sleep deprivation. However, this will pass within a few weeks. The risks of using marijuana is risky under the age of 25 because your brain is still developing. Marijuana affects the white brain matter, which is involved in communication, learning, and memory and emotions. Frequent use can disrupt the brain's ability to grow new connections and can damage the long-term ability to learn and problem solving. According to Colorado, adults 21 and older can purchase marijuana. However, I feel like it should be up to the age of 25 due to these research findings. Another health risk is a negative effect on your lungs. Frequent marijuana users can experience respiratory problems that are similar to tobacco users. Marijuana can also produce hallucinations or paranoid delusions. These symptoms usually subside after use. You might say, what if they don't? Well, in this rare cases of psychosis not subsiding, it can mean that you might have an underlying psychotic disorder such as schizophrenia. This is a good thing because it was caught early. Marijuana can also be, it's unclear that if marijuana is a catalyst that triggers the disorder early or just a mere indication of an underlying disorder. Marijuana is also been studied to use in the fight against cancer and nausea. An article I read talked about a man having cancer in his lung and pancreas, and once he smoked marijuana going into chemo treatment, he was able to walk in and out with a smile. There's also considerable evidence for marijuana reducing nausea, vomiting, and appetite. In a study of 8 children ages 3 to 8, delta 8 THC was found to block their chemotherapy-induced vomiting. Also, in a study with a 40-year-old baby girl that had recurrent convulsing seizures, the researcher was able to find that they decreased exponentially after using marijuana. If scientists can pinpoint these cannabinoid receptors and figure out where the seizures are reacting from, then they can figure out how marijuana can stop this. With marijuana's incredibly low risk and high benefits, it will increase the well-being of humans exponentially. I advise you to do your own research regarding the benefits of marijuana, because your research will show you that the media is shoving negative propaganda down the public's throat, and I advise you to think for yourself.